Hi first grade, welcome back. Today we're going to make a space-inspired piece of art. Have you ever wondered how many planets there are in our solar system? Have you ever wondered how small we are compared to our universe? Have you wondered how many stars there are in the sky? Have you ever wondered if there's life out there? Or maybe you're very interested in Star Wars. Or you're curious what it might be like to live on a space station. Now I want you to think about this. How can scientists and artists work together? Go ahead and talk to a neighbor. Think about the question. How can a scientist and an artist work together? And I'm going to call on 3 people to share. Go ahead. Awesome. Science and art have a lot in common. A lot of times, artists will use things that scientists have found to create art. Maybe it's like this person who's using light and shadow to create his work of art. But think about designing for the future. The scientists might come up with a new way for cars to drive through the air. But an artist or someone has to design that car or spaceship, whatever it is, on paper for people to understand it. So artists and scientists need to work together. Scientists need other creative people to come up with the future's new ideas. Today, I'd like you to help me come up with a new spaceship that we can use to create a space-inspired piece of work. You should have walked in with a pencil, a big black paper, and then a smaller piece of gray paper. Today, we're going to make an awesome piece of art. Give me a thumbs up when you have all 3 of these items and you've sharpened your pencil. Now, in one of mine, I made an alien. You obviously don't have to make an alien. But here's what I made before, and I'm going to show you how to make this today. It's going to be a lot of fun. So be thinking about your piece of technology. Is it a spaceship? Is it, I don't know, something from Earth, or maybe it's not from Earth. Maybe it's from aliens. Think about your spaceship, your engineering, what you're going to build, how we're going to help scientists and create something cool for the future. All right, very first thing I want you to do, put the gray piece of paper to the side, probably on your right, because you're going to need it very soon. In the bottom left-hand corner with your pencil, I need to write your name. Or need you to write your name. I know it's not going to be very easy to see, but I want you to try your best. Write your name in the bottom left-hand corner, and then we're also going to write our class code. I'll write your class code on the board for you. Give me a thumbs up when you're ready to continue. Awesome. So now let's take a look at this gray piece of paper. In a moment, I'm going to come by each table and pass out some inspiration for your spaceship. Your spaceship could be something from the future. Could be something that we already use and you just want to copy. Maybe it's from a movie like Star Wars. It could be a Death Star. If you want to make it simple, you can. Notice that it's symmetrical. If I draw a line down the center, it's the same on both sides. If you really want to do something from outer space, something crazy, maybe like an alien, you could. If you wanted to, you could make that symmetrical, little spaceship. It could be a fighter, maybe a space fighter. Or it could be just a normal little ship. I put some different examples on here, but you get to come up with it on your own. So I'm gonna take a close look at it. I want you to watch me first as I draw, and then I'm gonna give you a chance to draw. If you're not sure what to draw, sometimes I just make up shapes. So I see this guy. I think that's really gonna be hard to draw. So I'm just gonna draw it the way I think about it. So maybe it goes up, then goes around. Maybe it has a triangle kind of front. And then it looks like it goes back. Draw it big. Try to make it as big as you can. Maybe I'll do some wings on the side. If you came to Fine Arts Night, you might have been able to shoot off rockets. Maybe that will inspire you. Maybe I'm gonna do some rocket blasters on the back part. Go ahead and draw the outline. Don't worry about the details. Don't worry about the windows or doors or anything. Just worry about the basic outline because we are gonna cut this out. Like I said, we're gonna cut this out, so keep it simple. I'm gonna give you 2 minutes to draw your spaceship, space shuttle, space station, any piece of technology that you wanna create that travels through space. I'm gonna probably give you about 2 minutes. I'll set a timer for 2 minutes. But just hang tight until we're done. I'm gonna show you the next step after 2 minutes. You may begin. Next, it's time to cut it out. Please don't start yet. We're just going to cut carefully, softly. Keep the scissors away from you. That would be dangerous if you were cutting towards you. Remember, 2 fingers or more in the big pocket, thumb in the little pocket of the scissors, and go around the whole thing. Just cut out the basic shape. Cut slower than me. I'm cutting kind of fast. Now, if I went really fast, I might accidentally cut off the wing, and that would be really sad. I'm gonna make sure I'm cutting around the pieces that I want to keep. Now, one trick I have is if something's hard to cut out, just make it easy for yourself. This is gonna be really hard to cut out. It's making me kind of worried. So I'm just gonna cut out the parts I know how. Give it 2 cuts right here. And then I'm gonna sneak my scissors in and cut that out. So just gotta be, ooh, I made a mistake. Now, mistakes happen, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna work with it. I'm gonna cut that part off since I messed up. I was working a little bit too fast. And you know what? Maybe I don't need rockets this time. I'll just cut those off. You know what? I kinda like that better. Once you have done that, throw away your trash, any extra pieces that you don't need, into the trash can, and that way I'll know you're ready. Now, I'm gonna give you an option. I'm gonna give everyone a piece of white paper. If you would like to cut out some windows or maybe a door in white, you could. I'm gonna cut out some windows and then maybe one big window screen so that I can see out when I'm driving my spaceship. So, of course, cut these out, try your best. Of course, when you're done, throw away your trash so that I know you're ready. Also, start thinking about where you want them. Don't glue them down just yet, but you might wanna put them around and kind of see where they would look best. Now it's time we use our glue. You're gonna take one of your glue from your bin. You and your partner should have enough. If it doesn't work, you can always share, but what you do is you turn the top, like I taught y'all last year. You should be able to hear some air. Then you turn it upside down, give it a couple shakes. When you're ready to start gluing, you give it a dot of glue. We are going to start by gluing the windows on top of our spaceship, then we'll glue down the spaceship, and then we're gonna start adding effects. So I went ahead and I put a dot of glue. I'm gonna add a window. I think I'm gonna change this from a windshield into a door. So I think I'm gonna find a good spot for the door. Where would people enter? Maybe they get on the wing, and then they go through the door. And now I'm gonna add a few more windows. You are gonna get a chance to decorate your spaceship with marker if you really wanted to. I also have crayon, but today we're gonna be using something called chalk. Say chalk. So just like sidewalk chalk, there's an art chalk that you can use on paper. And we'll use that today to make some really cool effects. It's gonna be kind of messy, so I need you to pay attention. All right, I'm gonna go ahead, since I have my windows on, I'm gonna give my spaceship a few dots of glue, just a few dots. Did I say a whole lot? No, just a few dots. So you have to decide, where do you want your spaceship? You might wanna look at it before. Do you wanna go into the side? Do you wanna go on up? Could be upside down, doing flips, who knows? On my first one, I kinda did it going up and out to the side. I think it looks more realistic like that, but you can do it however you want. This time I think I'm gonna make it look like it's going down. And then once you put it where you want it, also give it a little bit of pressure. Then give me a thumbs up so I know that we're ready to continue. Now, of course, if you want to take a dark marker, it should show up. Maybe you want to do people looking through the windows. I need to do a windshield. Maybe put some circles inside my squares just to give it some interest. There's lots of little machines on the one that I was looking at. So maybe I can make it look more like a machine and add some more lines. This is totally up to you. I want to see how creative you can be. If you're going to be the scientist of tomorrow or the artist of tomorrow, you got to be able to make some cool spaceships. Now's your time to be creative. There's going to be a door, maybe there's going to be a hatch, a little doorknob to get in. So I have something I like. I'm probably going to add some more color, but now I'm going to show you some chalk techniques. This is called chalk. It's going to be really messy. One thing I don't like seeing is when people take the chalk and they start coloring themselves. Do you think that's what we should be doing? No. If you're coloring yourself, then you don't need to be using chalk. You might have it taken away from you. So first I want to do some fire. I want you to experiment with the chalk. You can do all sorts of different activities and different techniques with it. I'm going to show you some. So light always has a source. So check this rocket out. Notice that the source of the light is that engine. Do you see that kind of orange aura going around the fire? And I want you to notice how bright that fire is. It's almost white. And then as you get farther away from it, it changes color to like kind of this pink. Same thing with these stars. So check out this star. It's almost super bright white. It's almost blinding my eyes. But it changes colors. It gets darker and darker as it goes away from the star. There's this aura of orange that surrounds the sun. So we're gonna practice some techniques. I'll show you some of those today. So as you're thinking about doing stars and stuff, remember there's always a little source, so that's where something came from, but then you gotta blend it out. And sometimes I'll go back in, add chalk, blend it out, but that blend is how you make it look real. You can use lines, but if you blend it out, that's how you make it look like a real star. So there's gonna be some interesting effects in this. So let's say I want to make some fire coming out of this spaceship. I could do some lines with the chalk. Then I like to blend it out with my finger, make it look real. But it doesn't look real yet. It just kind of looks like orange hot sauce coming out of my spaceship. Maybe I want to do it orange turning into yellow. That might make it look a little bit more realistic. Kind of, but we're still getting there. Remember, we need a source. So I'm gonna take this white and I'm gonna put it really close to the spaceship. Let's see if this gives it what I need it to. And then sometimes I blend using a little circular motion, so I do little invisible circles. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, I like that better. Now you can do yours the way you want it. I kind of miss that orange, so I'm gonna put a little bit more orange in there. I don't know. And then I'm gonna do a little bit more yellow, but play with this. See how you like it? Now I'm gonna show you maybe if you wanna do a planet or a star that's far away. I'll take a color, I'll do a big circle, take a finger, swirl it around in a big circle. Feels kind of weird on my finger. Like I said, we're not painting our hands. Your hands are gonna get dirty. Please don't make them dirty on purpose. That's when I start taking away chalk. And now I'm gonna do a white circle in the middle and then blend it in a little bit. Check that out. That looks like a real star far away. You can blend this as much as you want. The more you blend, the more real it might look. If you want to, you can take the white and do tiny little dots. I'm not pressing hard. You don't want to break these chalks. I don't have a whole lot of them. Maybe I want to do some shadow on the spaceship. You can do that. I'm gonna put a little bit of blue and then of course go back in and blend it. So that looks pretty cool. So I have a lot to do. I'm excited to see what you're gonna do and how you're gonna make it look so real. You can of course use oil pastels on your spaceship too if you wanna add some color. But I'm excited to see what you might do. One more thing, maybe you wanna do a meteor or some comet going by. Find ways to make it look real. That's what the cool thing about chalk is. It's gonna look like something real. All right guys, I hope you have a good one. I'm sorry for this long video, but I wanted to show you all your techniques. Don't forget your name. At the very end of class, we are gonna clean our hands, so please don't ask me to clean your hands. I will tell you where to put this when we're done. Have a good one.